What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for jumping into another video with us. Well, I don't even know where to start today, guys. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I don't really even know where to start. There was a lot of news today. The market had some volatility, but had, as far as I'm concerned, a pretty strong day today. We did finish green. Matter of fact, if you look at the market overall, the S&P 500 finished about 77.77% up. The Dow finished about 0.86% in the green, and the NASDAQ 0.45% in the green. As far as I'm concerned, guys, a green day all the way across all three is a green day. Now, there was a lot of news. There were a lot of things that are going on out there. First and foremost, Apple reported that it was going to cost them like $900 million due to the tariffs. But what's really interesting is there are a lot of news articles out there that are talking about how, and it's true, if you look at what's happening with Apple right now, Apple is flat out set to crush their first quarter earnings estimates. Really they're giving thanks to the tariffs for this, right? So Apple basically had this crazy scenario where when the tariffs were reported, Liberation Day took place with Donald Trump on April 2nd, tons of people panic bought, ran to the stores, ordered online Apple iPhones because they believed, based on the news hype, right, the rumors, that Apple was going to increase prices on your traditional iPhone from $600, $700, $800 to over $1,500. And if you're like me, and I'm big in the Apple Pro Max. Yes, thank you. I'm big in the Apple Pro Max, which is right now, I guess, about $1,400, $1,500. They were saying that phone was going to cost anywhere up to $3,000. So people literally just ran to the stores and stocked up on iPhones. And then the news that came out, I guess a week or so ago, where President Trump said, okay, no tariffs on iPhones and cell phone technology. Okay, well, now basically the only ones left laughing were Apple, because they just sold tons and tons of phones to people that probably could have waited a year or 6 months or 2 years to buy their new iPhone. Anyway, so that's Apple. And Apple did have earnings, this week. NVIDIA. Okay, NVIDIA there's so much news right now surrounding NVIDIA. Certain news reporters are saying that it's overpriced, that it basically, is not where people need to invest because of Huawei. And I keep sharing this with you guys. They coming out with a new chip that's supposed to be stronger and better. I don't believe it. I'm in NVIDIA as a long-term hold in my long-term portfolio. I just don't believe it. And if you look at the stock and what it did today, and we're going to take a look at it, NVIDIA is still performing. I don't believe all the hype about NVIDIA. Did they have a down day? Yeah, they had a down day, but they danced all day long. They did break through at one point today, but pretty much danced all day long at about, $114 as a resistance level that got, rejected several times, and it ran down. And NVIDIA right now it closed at $111.61 per share. And it's sitting at $111.10 per cent at, after market. And we'll go ahead. I'll put this up on the screen for you here so you guys can see this. But not buying the hype on NVIDIA, and not buying all of what's going on in the news with NVIDIA right now. So, what else? Tesla, okay? Interestingly enough, Tesla has reported that they're going to have thousands of robots by the end of the year, and that Elon Musk has very ambitious AI timelines, which is sparking all kinds of debates out there. Listen, everybody's sort of happy that Elon Musk is getting back in the office at Tesla and working as CEO of Tesla. There were even tons of rumor, and the Wall Street Journal wrote up a whole article about how Elon Musk should be removed, how they were researching a month ago, the board were reaching out to search finders, like, executive recruiters, looking for a new CEO. And recently, one of the board members came forward, like within the last 24 hours, and said, that's not true. We are very happy with Elon Musk. He was doing great things for, the administration, for for our people, our economy, and now he's back to work. And Elon Musk is back to work. There's a lot of stuff going on. And anyway, don't believe all the hype. But Tesla is an interesting one. And I just recently posted a video about how to trade Tesla with TSLL, TSLA, TSLS. There's great ways to make money in Tesla, and Tesla's going to be one of those companies. It's like the largest, electric vehicle company in the world right now. And if you didn't see it, one thing that I'm very excited about is, and I'll throw a picture of it up on the screen right here, but Elon Musk realized that, and said publicly, I guess people weren't ready for the Cybertruck. It's just too futuristic, right? It's definitely that George Jetson's vehicle and getting close to flying vehicles, right? I don't like the Tesla Cybertruck. I think it looks kind of goofy, right? I'm not ready for that type of a look of a vehicle. I like Tesla's cars. I don't own one, but they look cool. There's a lot of really cool models. I didn't love the Cybertruck. I drive a Ford, as my weekender is a Ford King Ranch F-150. Love the meanness of it, the roughness of that type of truck. The Tesla Cybertruck, looks like a spaceship, and the back opens up and rolls up. I mean, like, I just couldn't see myself going to Home Depot and buying some lumber to do a home project in a Tesla Cybertruck, okay? But Tesla's response and Elon Musk's response to that is he's going to create a new pickup truck, basically a traditional pickup truck that is Tesla. So that'll be pretty cool. And I'm like I said, here's a picture of what that truck looks like. But anyway, there's so much going on, guys, and just stay focused on paying attention to what's happening out there. It's good to listen to everybody, but it's also good, form your own opinion, do your own research, do your own homework like I do. Make your decisions, do your research and your homework, and make your decisions based on, what your findings are. It's good to listen to everybody and see what they have to say, but there's always multiple opinions out there. Tom Lee is one guy that, everybody loves to listen to Tom Lee, and he's on all kinds of different news broadcasts, ABC, NBC, Fox News. Everybody has Tom Lee at some point on their show talking about what the stock market's doing. And he's, totally a very smart guy. But I've been watching him for the last several months and listening to things. And what he says is not the gospel all the time, guys. What he says doesn't always come true. It doesn't always happen. He's not he doesn't have a crystal ball. He's not predicting the stock market. But there are some people that believe so much in Tom Lee that everything he says is the gospel, right? That they write articles on it. They do videos, YouTube videos on it. Tom Lee is saying, one thing he said over the last couple of days was that we need to prepare ourselves for an 80% drop in the stock market. 80%. Okay, even in 2019 for COVID, okay, or the 2008 crash, the most significant percentage that the stock market fell was like 39%. Okay, we're at like 23% now. Well, we're not anymore. We were, based on the announcement of tariffs and all that. Okay, to say that the stock market's going to crash by 80%, okay. Tom Lee is a guy who does have a lot of education and experience and knowledge, but he's going to cause what we've been talking about for several weeks, this fear in the market. Okay, and what does the fear do, guys? Remember, I've shared the fear in the market causes everyone to sell, get out, run and hide from it, pull your money out and go hide it under your mattress. And then who sweeps in and benefits from that? The wealthy do, guys, the one percenters. The ones the hedge funds and these brokerage managers, okay, they're the ones that are like, okay, hey, stock just dropped by $20 a share. Buy as much as you can because it's going to go back up by $20 a share. Okay? Just don't be the one sitting on the sidelines missing in opportunities when Tom Lee says it's going to drop 80% and it does drop 20% and you have the opportunity to buy specific stocks at a discount. Okay? Now, this is not financial advice, guys. Do not take any of this as financial advice. I'm just sharing with you my opinion and what I'm going to do. What I'm going to continue doing is blue chips. I'm in the blue chips, guys. I'm in the Magnificent Seven. I'm in the S&P 500, and I am buying at every dip, every opportunity, because come past all this, whether it's a month, a week, 9 months, whatever it's going to be, the market's going to continue to improve, continue to go up, and you'll make a lot of money that way. Just me, guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump right into the stocks for the day. Let's take a look at some of the charts and see what's going on. First and foremost, let's go to the watch list, and I'm going to show you the S&P 500. What did the S&P 500 do today, guys? Well, to be quite fair, it helped us end with another green day, right? S&P 500 this morning, and you can see here, we came into the market open at 9:30 this morning with the S&P at $560.44. We had some drops, made it all the way down to 558. But today, high, okay, was $564.07. Now remember, we'd been living in a support and resistance level of 545 to 555. We crushed through that yesterday, okay. In the post market, we closed at 555, and the market continued to rally through post nighttime, 557, all the way up to 562, up to 564. Okay, so even though we closed down because it had some drops and there are some things going on in the news that did cause this to drop, we're still sitting at $558 right now, 557.18. Okay, what happens tomorrow morning? I think the market, with the news and everything that's happening, and I didn't even share the biggest thing that happened in the news today, but hang on one second. I think it's going to continue to grow and rally up. China, we believe, based on what we are seeing in the news, that China finally is coming to an agreement, is coming to terms with they need to negotiate and cooperate with the United States. There's actually a bunch of articles about this specifically that say Trump won the China tariff war and China falls to their feet. And listen, it had to happen, guys. It was inevitable. I give President Trump credit for forcing us to hold out to get to where we are now. But now China is saying they're open to negotiating. They're open to moving past this whole tariff concern and issue and negotiating what's reasonable for both countries, because their economy is in the toilet, guys. China's economy is collapsing. Their real estate market already collapsed. Their employment is considerably down. People are out of work, out of jobs. They're closing manufacturing plants all over. Forget the tariffs. Forget how much we rely on China for them to create, build, manufacture things for us. They're dying right now, okay? And they're finally coming to the table to negotiate. We'll see how that happens. We'll see what happens with that. I only believe that's going to cause the stock market to continue to go up, and we'll see what happens there. But anyway, S&P 500. Let's move on. I want to share with you guys about the day trade stocks that we always talk about. And for me, I'm not even going to tell you how excited I am about this one, guys. Let me get to my 15-minute chart. APLD. Okay, guys. APLD, Applied Digital. I've been sharing with you guys, I day trade in and out of APLD daily. Okay. Thank you. My portfolio thanks you, Applied Digital, APLD, for putting more money back in the bank today. APLD finally cracked. We had this fighting resistance level, and yesterday it dropped significantly down to $4.20, but it ran up all day yesterday. It ran up through the night, and in the morning, with several larger companies' earnings, okay, announced, it helped APLD run up, okay. It sat at at a high point today. Let's see. $5.25. That's pretty good, guys. It hit as high as $5.29 on a wick. And it closed at $5.21. And it is running a little bit down right now. It's at $5.15. But guys, the point is, I'd been waiting for APLD to break the $5 barrier. $4.86 was my resistance level for, to break through. It broke through it today like butter, and it's sitting in the low fives. And that is great news for APLD and for some individuals bag holding. I've shared with you many times, I'm bag holding in APLD on my Webull account. I day trade it on E-Trade and Robinhood to make money. And guys, I'm going to tell you, this was as a day trader. Okay, if you got in this today with me, $4.68 open to $5.29. That's like 70 cents per share, guys. Did you use APLD as a day trading stock? I hope you did. I hope you made money. Drop me a comment. Let me know if you followed APLD. Anyway, we're going to continue to watch APLD and see what it does. Wolf, another one. Wolf, W-U-L-F. Same type of results. Opened market today, 290. Pretty much if you rode it all the way up to $3.29, guys. Pretty nice if you were in WULF. WOLF. WOLF also had a pretty good day. Followed sort of that same trend. Not as big. And if I was in it early in the morning, about mid-morning, I sold out of it. I want to say I sold out at around 370 something and took profit and got out of there. And it came down and it sat and closed at 360. It's back up to 365 right now in the post market. But it performed. It did very well today. Okay. Let's look at Ford. Guys, I told you I was not going to be in Ford. I did not get in Ford. And man, now do I wish I did. Look at Ford today, guys. Ford basically had a low point after opening $10.15. $10.02 was the low on the wick, but we'll say it opened $10.15, and it ran all the way up today to $10.31. That's pretty good for Ford, guys. But like I told you, I'm a little bit concerned about it over $10 because it's always been traditionally anywhere between $6 to $12, but I like it lower in the $9 range. And it'll get there. It'll drop back down to the $9 range, but another really good one. All right, let's go back here. Okay. BBAI didn't do so well today. Kind of dropped off a little bit. Had its up time, but then it dropped down. Closed at 334. It's sitting at 297 right now. It was impacted by some other earnings calls. And a little bit disappointing that it is down below $3, but we'll see what happens in the next couple days. Okay. Let's see what else. SoundHound. Let's go to SoundHound. All right, SoundHound. Here we go. Okay, SoundHound had some up today, and again, I'm looking at 15-minute charts, guys. If you go to the 5-minute, everything always looks better when you go to 1 minute, 5 minute. But here, opened up, dropped down. SoundHound, you could say on this candle right here, opened at 939. If you ran it up before you hit this Firefly candlestick, closed at $9.54, right? So, not kind of where I would like to have as a day trade, and I did not trade this today. But again, still performing, closed at 915, sitting at 905. Again, some of those earnings calls caused this to drop down. But at the end of the day, some really good opportunities for us as day traders to continue to make money. Okay, so tomorrow, what are we doing tomorrow, guys? Tomorrow, we are going to continue to look at APLD. Now that it broke this $5 range, okay, the hopes in it are that we can get past $5.47. That is our next resistance level, okay? And from there, 547 to 568, and if it hits through that, sky is the limit. Okay, remember, APLD is a stock that was at $8-9, so it's still got a lot of room to go and to grow, and APLD is one definitely we're going to be in. SoundHound, we're going to be in SoundHound tomorrow, for sure. Although I didn't get in it today, I do like the setup of it, so we're going to get in and out of SoundHound, and at $9.05, if it continues on a down for the pre-market, then maybe a really good opportunity to get into SoundHound and make some money there. Ford, I don't know, guys. I'm so on the fence with Ford. We'll see. It's even up in the post market, $10.19. So we'll see what happens. All right, I want to introduce to you guys a couple new stocks to take a look at and put on your radar for day trading. Okay, number one is Oatly. Now you're probably thinking, what is Oatly? A lot of people know what Oatly is. You just don't realize you know what Oatly is. But Oatly is in most retail grocery stores. They are dairy-based products. Oatly is a Sweden-based company. They actually manufacture, distribute, and sell all oat brand products. Here in Florida, where I live, Publix supermarkets, when you go to Publix, you see Oatly in the shelves, in the racks. They have all kinds of different sales of Oatly. But analysts are reporting this right now as a 25% hold if you're already in it and own the stock, 38% to buy the stock, and the rest is strong buy. And it's sitting at $11.23 from closing. It's actually at $11 right now. You guys, if you've watched my strategy video, the very first one, I'm going to pop up what that video thumbnail looks like right here. But if you watched my strategy and how I explain how I do my strategy, I'm primarily looking for stocks between $5 and $10. Oatly is a Sweden-based company. They actually manufacture, distribute, and sell all oat brand products. Here in Florida, where I live, Publix supermarkets, when you go to Publix, you see Oatly in the shelves, in the racks. They have all kinds of different sales of Oatly. But analysts are reporting this right now as a 25% hold if you're already in it and own the stock, 38% to buy the stock, and the rest is strong buy. And it's sitting at $11.23 from closing. It's actually at $11 right now. You guys, if you've watched my strategy video, the very first one, I'm going to pop up what that video thumbnail looks like right here. But if you watched my strategy and how I explain how I do my strategy, I'm primarily looking for stocks between $5 and $10. And that's where I live, is in those day trade stocks between $5 and $10. This one's at $11.23, but it had been less than $10. And that's my whole point. Oatly had been less than $10, running in the 8s and the 9s for a while. And now it's on an up and it's growing over $11. But it's a good stock. I was looking at charting this on another account. I have my charts, and I was kind of trying to understand the trend lines, and it looks good. It's got some good upward momentum, through most of the days that it trades. But again, understanding your support and your resistance levels and understanding your candlestick patterns is what helps you with that. So just throw it on your radar, OTLY. And see if it's something that you might be interested in as a day trading stock. I'm going to be watching it over the next couple of days to really understand and learn some more of its trend pattern. The other one I wanted to share with you guys is GTX. I really like this one. It's called Garrett Motion, and Garrett Motion is basically a automotive company. They are Switzerland based. They belong to Zacks Automotive, and if you don't know any of that, it's totally fine. You don't need to know it. They've got I think over 16,000 employees in total, and What they do is they're basically an automotive technology company. So they design, they manufacture, they sell things like turbochargers, electric boosting technology for light and commercial vehicles, and they're very heavy in creating, basically manufacturing these types of technology items for vehicles for both gas, hybrid, and electric vehicles. So this is a company that I'm going to be looking at and start monitoring trend patterns. You can see it had an incredible day today based on earnings. This is 30 minutes, go to 5 minutes so we can kind of go and you can see this. Let me get it back to autofill. Okay, but here was earnings in early morning. They had basically a wick, that had a low, let's see, of $9.21. The candle was at $9.50, closed at $9.71, and then honestly just continued to rip up from there. Their high today was $10.09, which is pretty good. It's not the high. That was the first point high, and then it ran all the way up to $10.20 where it closed, and it's still sitting at $10.20. So strong company. I've been doing some research on it. I like what I'm reading so far. I'm going to continue to trend analysis on its dailies and look at the averages and see how it trades, and if there's an opportunity to use this as a day trade stock. I think there is. It looks pretty good, but again, we'll see what happens. Anyway, guys, this video has been a lot longer than you probably wanted it to be. Thank you so much for staying with me through the end. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, drop a comment for me and let me know what's happening. I'm loving the comments, and I will respond to every single comment the best that I can. And click that notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a new video. Guys, thank you so much for being here with me tonight. Looking forward to a green day tomorrow. I hope you do have a green day. Let's get rich together. Josh out. Peace.